if you walk. Duck if you walk. Duck if you walk, boy.
Welcome to the first episode of Bucks in 6, guys. What's going on? It's your boy Dan Brosnan in the building. You guys might know me from the fan club, but we wanted to make our own Milwaukee Bucks channel. I am really passionate about this team. I have been to too many Bucks games to count. There was one year I went to 6 games in one season. The year they only won 15 games. A huge fan. I've loved watching Giannis grow through the years, watching this team turn into a championship team. And now we are here. We are going to be covering the Milwaukee Bucks every single week. When the season gets into full swing, we will be covering every single game. Preseason's right around the corner and training camp is going on right now, guys. The players are training. So today we wanted to give you a season preview of what the Milwaukee Bucks are going to look like for now. Are we going to make some trades? What does our starting lineup look like? Let's get into it, man. So we all know that Giannis is the key to everything. He's the 4. It looks like Brook Lopez is going to be our starting center going into the season. But there are a lot of questions about this guy because our boy Brook Lopez is 34 years old, guys, 282 pounds. He's a big guy, but he's also getting old. We are going to need a replacement. And the backup center, Serge Ibaka, is not that much younger. He is 33, guys. So when we're looking at younger players coming in and stepping in, I'm looking at Sandro, and then we might have to make a trade at some point to get a starting center. Brook Lopez is awesome, and his defense is actually above average at this point in his career. A really good rim protector, but he's kind of slow. He's an okay three-pointer. He makes defenses honest, and he's perfect for the Bucks, but through time, he's going to get older. He's going to get more injured. He just came off of back injuries. That is my biggest kind of concern with this team. Now, Chris Middleton is another one to keep your eye on. He just had wrist surgery. He's been banged up within this past year, and the team is going to give him about a few weeks to a month to get him back into the swing of things. So don't expect him back right away. So who is going to take up his minutes until he comes back? Well, the first one that kind of stands out is either Pat Connaughton or Wes Matthews or Jordan Nwora. We just re-signed him, and I really like Jordan. He still needs to work on his defense and building that NBA-ready body, but he is a walking bucket. So don't give up on that guy yet. We all love Drew Holiday. He is a defensive stud. He was very flippy-floppy in the playoffs with his offensive game, but he was just trying to do too much because Chris Middleton wasn't there. So some of that was his fault, some of that wasn't. But I love Drew. I will take this man on my team any day. At shooting guard, we have Grayson Allen, and in some situations, it really does help having him, especially against the Bulls. However, he was a defensive liability against the Celtics, so we have to watch out for him. So the two kind of points on our starting lineup that we have to look at right now is the health of Chris Middleton. Will Grayson Allen continue to rise and work on his game, get bigger, get stronger? And what are we doing with that center position? Are we letting Brook Lopez just ride out his last year here and we'll kind of let him test free agency or pick him up on a cheaper deal at the end of the year? What do you guys think we're going to do there? Let me know in the comments. The next thing we're going to be talking about is the bench. The bench is key to our success because we all saw in the playoffs when Chris Middleton went out, Nobody off the bench was a consistent scorer. We had trouble with just anybody scoring. So off the bench, I believe in Bobby Portis. He is the stud, and maybe he is the key to Brook Lopez. Maybe he succeeds him. He's the center. However, he's kind of the opposite of Brook Lopez. He's kind of your faster, smaller type of big, but I absolutely love me some Bobby Portis. He's the key to our team at times. He is one of the best players off the bench in the league, and he can start. He's a really good player. He's the key to our bench. Now, what players can we put around him? I love Jordan Nwora. This has to be a big year, man. Year 3, I'm expecting some good things out of this young man. He is a walking bucket. Wes Matthews, I expect him to give us some good 3-and-D, make some three-pointers, make some stops. Now, Sandro Mamukelevich, I can't say his name. I always mess it up, guys. Hate on me in the comments. Sandro, though, he's developing into a nice player. Now, I don't know how nice he's going to be, if he's going to be a quality starter every night or a quality bench guy, but there is some quality in this man's game. He is working. He's got that hunger like a Giannis. Yo, shout out Sandro. I don't know where I feel about him yet, but he might be turning into the new Bobby Portis if Bobby Portis is now the starter, right? I could see a lot of good things out of Sandro. Don't just let him walk away. At least if you're going to get rid of him, trade him for something decent, because he is a stud and there are some people that really like him. Serge Ibaka, I liked him when we got him, but I didn't know that all the juice is gone with him. I haven't seen him play that much, and when he does, the energy isn't there like it used to be. Maybe it's because he's not on the court a lot. I don't know what it is, but Serge, you know what, bro? Prove me wrong. Please come back and be a good quality backup center for us. We need you. Now, the one that has me kind of up in arms a little bit is George Hill. I am not a hater on George Hill. I respect this man. He has put together a great career, but dude is 36, and I got to give it to him. I understand that he can still play, but he's a defensive liability on this team, and he is not that good of a backup point guard anymore compared to a lot of these younger prospects out there. I'm not saying George Hill is bad in certain situations in the playoffs. Yes, you might want George Hill, okay? I'm not a hater. But there are certain guys out there that are younger, faster, stronger, with more of a ceiling right now that could take up that roster spot. Now, we'll wait and see what they're going to do with this George Hill player. I love George Hill. I've been a fan of him for years. I'm not a hater, man. I just see him as one of our weaker spots on the team, and that's okay. Yo, shout out AJ Green from Northern Iowa. Dude is a baller. He can shoot lights out on 3. Do I think he's going to get in the rotation this year? Maybe, maybe not. He might need a year or two to get NBA ready, but the dude has a shot. He can shoot three-pointers, and he might be our new Pat Connaughton, our new guy like that. Speaking of Pat, he's back, and you know he's going to put in the work. He's not a little young buck no more. Bro is 29, about to be 30. He's going to come in and hit this team hard. Speaking of backup point guards, the guy that I think is going to be the new backup point guard for this team is Javon Carter. I really like Javon, and he's younger and faster. He's kind of got a smaller build like George Hill, even though George Hill's listed at 6'4", Javon Carter's listed as 6'1". I still trust Javon a little bit more, even though he is a smaller guy and he's not great defensively either. I almost want Javon right now over George Hill, but they're not great options to me. I would like to get another backup point guard or something like that. Nothing really is a guarantee right here at point guard if somebody goes down. What happens if Drew Holiday goes down? What if Chris Middleton goes down again? We don't have a really good option there. Now, Marjon Beauchamp might come in and really be something awesome for this team, but it might take him a little bit of time. That's the one player that I really like on this team that could be a dark horse candidate to really make some noise this year is Marjon. He might be rookie of the year. He has a really good defensive mentality, but it's about his shot. He probably won't be rookie of the year if that shot isn't falling. He's not going to get a lot of playing time, and he might be out there defensively, but if you're not scoring the points, you're not winning rookie of the year. Only time will tell, but this team looks like a really nice put together team. I do predict that the first month of the season could be a little rocky. We're figuring everything out without our boy Chris Middleton. And when we look at our schedule, so the regular season, we start off with Philly, Houston, Brooklyn, New York, and Atlanta. And then Detroit for 2 games, Minnesota, OKC, Atlanta, OKC. So this is by far one of the weakest schedules to start. Besides Philly, Brooklyn, I mean, New York and Atlanta are competitive, but then you've got Houston, 2 games, Detroit. Minnesota is going to be very competitive. Then OKC and Atlanta, OKC again. If you're going to sit your star for any time, that first month right there, that would be the best time. I think that Giannis and Drew can win you some games and give you above 500 record to start the year. And then when Chris Middleton comes back, that's when I see Philadelphia, Cleveland, Chicago, Dallas, LA, even Charlotte on there. There's some good players, and good teams coming up after that first month. I see this team winning anywhere from like 50 to 60 wins. It depends on where they're sitting, how they start that first month out. And I don't guarantee us winning the 1 seed anymore. I don't think we care too much about the 1 seed. If we win it, so be it. We're not going to break our whole team down just for a silly 1 seed. I know that it matters to some, but it doesn't if your team's hurt, man. So you kind of have to balance it. It is a long year. The 1 year that we won the championship, what were we, the 3 seed? So it's very weird how it all works, but let me know what you guys think. This is just the beginning for Bucks in 6, guys. We're just getting this started. We love you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Big bad wolf, watch the moon glow. I got a Greek freak, she call me Antetokounmpo, just follow the Kumpo, and I know that you